Good evening, sir.
Good
Thank
evening.
you for taking out your valuable time for us.
It's a pleasure.
Sir, how valuable this seminar would be for the field of arbitration? And what is your opinion on the quality of panelists who are taking part in this seminar?
Well, there were very experienced panelists, highly placed in the profession, and as you would have seen that the discussion that took place on certain issues which are significant for the purposes of streamlining the arbitration working, they were all prepared with their what they wanted to convey. Now, how valuable is the recipient can tell you how valuable it is. You would be able to, if you were attending the and hearing the panelists, you would be able to tell yourself what you imbibed at the end of the day. If you did imbibe something, it was useful. But if you did not, to you it is not useful. It's a relative matter.
Sir, you must have interacted with a lot of law students today. So, what advice would you have for the law students who wish to take up arbitration as a part of their careers?
Unfortunately, I had no occasion today to interact with the students. I always love to otherwise. I love to meet them, I love to spend some time with them and talk to them in a friendly way, you see. But today it was, the hall was arranged already and we just entered and walked onto the desk, and then the discussion started because one of us wanted to leave early.
And what kind of skill suits this field?
What kind of skills?
I'll reiterate my question. What kind of skills do you think a law student should have if he wants to, or if he wishes to take up arbitration as a career option?
You see, arbitration is where the dispute has arisen between two parties. Now, those two parties may be individuals or maybe institutions, companies, and the like. And an arbitrator, if he takes a little interest, he would be able to persuade a settlement between the parties. And when I was a judge, our norm was a very strict norm. 10 cases to be disposed of by judgment, 15 otherwise than by judgment, which means 25 cases in a month, which was no mean, you see, very strict. And the basic idea was how you interact and bring about settlements. What I saw in the course of my experience, that there are certain matters which, if you have read the briefs earlier, they can be settled. And all that the lawyers want, a little prompting by the judge from the bench. Why can't you settle it? And this is what it is. You know. Today, a lawyer in India will not open his mouth for settlement to the client because the client has the notion, ye phut gaya hai. And therefore he will not utter a word. But if it comes from the bench, he will be able to talk to the client. That look here, judge साहब ने पढ़ा है, जज साहब को लगता है सेटल होना चाहिए, अब हम negotiate करें settle करने के. That is how I always used to find that I had not to exercise much, you know, this thing. And I used to, when I was doing Lok Adalat cases and others, I had a 3C formula. C was, 3 C's were coax, cajole, and compel. So you start by coaxing and cajoling the parties, and then put a little pressure, which is permissible.
Sir, you were part of the Indian judiciary for a really long time, and still you are a part of the arbitration community. So, drawing on your own experiences, what do you feel about the state of arbitration law in India today, and what can be done more in order to improve the whole regime of arbitration law?
The Arbitration Act needs changes. There are certain things which have resulted in delays. For example, an award is made expeditiously, but if it goes in appeal, there is an automatic stay of the award. Therefore, that appeal may lie in the court for years on end, and that is what defeats it. If there is a process by which the courts also take up appeals expeditiously and dispose them off, then you see it can move fast. Only the arbitrator may move very fast and do it within a short time, but what happens if it goes into appeals and goes into cold storage of it? That is why I state courts have very large cold storages.
Coming back to the seminar, how has your overall experience been here at Gujarat National Law University and with Gujarat National Law University?
Well, I have enjoyed my visit here. I have enjoyed talking to your director. I had some things that I mentioned to him. Perhaps he may look into it. And I thoroughly enjoyed visiting you.
Thank you, sir, for meeting with us. Thank you so much.